Frederick Chard, Hanoi Hannah, the English-language voice of a very effective North Vietnamese propaganda broadcast lady. Imagine turning on your shortwave radio in your barracks during the Vietnam wartime. You hear an extremely compelling voice almost calling you by your name. It isn't just any voice, it's Hanoi Hannah. Who was she? Hanoi Hannah was a woman with a mission. Throughout the Vietnam War, she broadcast messages to American soldiers. Her aim was to sway their thoughts and emotions. Let's explore her role during the Vietnam War. First, she worked for Radio Hanoi. This station spread propaganda by shortwave radio to the U.S. troops. Her broadcast started in the late 1960s. Hannah became famous for her engaging style. She mixed news with music and personal stories. She read Vietnam War protest stories from U.S. print media and even the U.S. military newspaper, Stars and Stripes. She often included American songs to captivate her audience. Her messages aimed at creating psychological warfare on American troops. Hanoi Hannah worked to lower American troop morale. She often highlighted anti-war protests in the U.S. She shared stories to make U.S. soldiers question their purpose for being in Vietnam. The goal was to create doubt and uncertainty. Now, what made her broadcasts so effective? Hannah used familiarity. By addressing soldiers very personally, she created a connection. She often said names of American cities. This humanized her message. It was more than propaganda, it often felt very personal. During her broadcasts, she spoke about American casualties. Hannah would remind soldiers of the dangers they faced fighting in Vietnam. She emphasized the idea that going home was far better than fighting in Vietnam and risking your life. This technique tapped deeply into a soldier's fears and hopes. Let's look at an example. Imagine a soldier listening to her broadcast. He hears a familiar tune. Then, her voice follows, speaking about protests back home. Suddenly, his worry grows. Is the fight worth it? This emotional tug was intentional. It turned her radio broadcasts into a weapon of war. In summary, Hanoi Hannah played a unique role in the Vietnam War. She captively broadcast messages that aimed to weaken American resolve. Her voice connected complex ideas with emotion. If you found this fascinating, dive deeper into history. In his ebook, I Was an ASA Vietnam War Resistor, Frederick Chard discusses Hanoi Hannah in greater detail, and how she actually obtained insider information about some U.S. military personnel and some of their battle plans. Learn how a single voice can influence many. You can purchase this ebook from Barnes & Noble for $4.99 USD. Go to bn.com to place your order.